New York City has a problem with traffic. There's too much of it, and everybody knows it. One of the ways to reduce traffic is to encourage bicycling. Bike lanes like this help a lot, and this is actually a very good bike lane because it's a buffered bike lane. And that strip there with all those painted stripes on it, that's the buffer that's supposed to keep cars away from cyclists. But you can see part of the problem with even a buffered bike lane is that people will park in it. And if you really want to make this as safe as possible, what you need to do is physically separate it from the traffic. All you have to do is switch the location of the bike lane and the parked cars. So it would go sidewalk, bike lane, parked cars. And that row of parked cars would then act as a physical separator between the bicycles and the fast-moving traffic. And that would make people a lot safer. This is a very popular idea in a lot of other cities, and it's proven very successful there. And it's something that New York should certainly think about adopting.
I think we should restore physically separated bicycle lanes. And what I mean by that is a curb lane that is dedicated to the bicyclist, and it is physically separated by either cones or concrete islands or probes or stanchions.
There are many ways to put some sort of bumps or physical protection that would put the bike lane against the sidewalk, hopefully with a means that would protect the cyclist from a car that would open the door. I mean, you would have the sidewalk, then the protected bikeway, and then the cars.
Now, let's talk about our neighborhood, East Harlem, and the proposed protected bike lanes on 1st and 2nd Avenues. 1st Avenue already has a buffered bike lane. The graphic you see here shows how the avenue is designed right now. You have a sidewalk, parked cars, bike lane, buffer, and traffic. With the new proposed design, you will have a sidewalk, bike lanes, parked cars, and traffic. So in reality, all we are doing is moving the bike lane to the inside lane to protect the cyclist. We are not adding nor taking lanes from the avenue. Please take a moment to look at the proposed roadway configuration. It makes the avenue more beautiful, and we are protecting the cyclist. Please take a look at this. Now, this is my favorite part. It is safer. The number of accidents and injuries were reduced by almost 37% in the neighborhoods where the protected bike lanes were installed. That is a huge difference. And when it's safer, more people want to bike around our beautiful city. Just look at the numbers before the bike lanes and after the protected bike lanes were installed. 2nd Avenue would have the same design. Sidewalk, protected bike lane, parked cars, and traffic. The avenue would look like this. Remember, this is about utilizing the space we have in the best possible way. Support and protect the bike lanes. It makes green sense.
We're here at Broadway Lafayette, which is actually a pretty decent bike lane. It's got a lane plus a buffer, so you do have a little margin for error, but still the cars do drive pretty quickly down this street. And they do park in it, which is very bad. So we're going to talk to people and see what they think about the idea of having separated bike lanes in New York.
I think people are dying to get on the roads if they just felt like they didn't have to watch their backs the whole time.
I would recommend that. It'd be a lot safer, and we wouldn't be interfering with the flow of traffic that often.
It would have to be separated from the sidewalk as well, so that I think it would encourage a lot of pedestrians to encourage bicyclists as well, because right now there's a war going on for space, between cars and sidewalks and people.
I don't like the current bike lanes at all. I think they're very dangerous and send a message to cars and trucks that you're supposed to just be in that lane, which is often very impossible because of parked cars and potholes.
Just now we just had a cab behind me that has just pulled up and is parked here in the bike lane. There's a car here that's parking in the bike lane. We already got 2 cars behind him. And we got cyclists that are trying to use this facility. And this happens all the time in bike lanes in New York City.
I've lived in 10 different cities around the world, South America, North America, and Europe. And the thing about a separated bike lane is you feel totally separate. which means you get a ton more people on the streets. You know, you get mothers and you get kids. Even at rush hour, you think nothing of it.
In the Netherlands, the bicycle lanes are right on the sidewalk, actually. So pedestrians share the sidewalk. And I thought, boy, this makes a lot of sense.
It would make it so much more convenient and so much safer because so many drivers in this city have no idea how the bike lanes work.
I think that not only would it improve safety, but also the aesthetics would be better. And you'll wind up having real estate values, I think, go up when you have something like a tree-lined barrier.
Cones, any kind of dividers, anything that's going to help us and protect us, that's long overdue.
I think right now is a perfect time to proceed. I think the mayor is pretty progressive. Iris Weinschel has traveled European cities and has seen wonderful things that have been done there for bike riders and for pedestrians. At the same time, a lot of people realize we're not going to solve the traffic problem by adding any lanes, and we ought to make better use of the existing space we have.
You only have to take a look at the West Side bike path to realize how popular that is compared to all the rest of the bike lanes in New York.
I think that when people sometimes think there's a snobbishness to say, oh, Amsterdam has this or whatever, or Stockholm has that, it's a matter of saying, well, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's adapt it and let's have America at the forefront again.
I think New York can be one of the foremost bicycling cities in the world, and this would make New York more beautiful, more competitive, more environmentally sound.
I think that the city is beginning to realize that when they install facilities like this, people start bicycling much more often than they did before. So it's really the type of thing that we look forward to seeing more of in New York City.